The college basketball experience weekend bombs edition for January 19th, 20th, and 21st on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Yes, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today, people. We're also brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's US based and available in 40 different states. Head to cut.com. That's KUTT.com. Use that promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. And we're also brought to you by the SGPN merch store. 15% off everything when you use the promo code playoffs. Folks, hop on over there. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, everybody. Joe Theismann here. You're listening to SGPN. So do this. Let it ride.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college basketball experience weekend bombs edition. Oh, yes. Been waiting for this episode. I'm excited to be here. Excited to talk to you despite my computer going a little slow at the moment. But we got some college basketball. This is college basketball season. Football's over for college football. All right. It's time to dive in. The road to March Madness is heating up every fucking day. All right.
Although those Alabama football players are, they're running, they're flying, and like they're finally the transfer portal's fun. You know, like, oh wow,
yeah,
these are actual NFL players leaving. That's been
wow.
fun.
They lost 27 players in 3 days.
But that's the thing, good players.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
that's
true.
what makes it amazing.
I like to think all East Carolina players are good, but yes, that's a fair assessment. Something fun to watch, and subscribe to the College Football Experience as we tackle that. Folks, if you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
Nobody knows nothing. Somebody knows. Double the price. But no one touches Dundee.
Yes, shout out to the chat. We're rocking along. We got 27 early afternoon viewers right now. Dave Dizzy. My guy Dave. He says, you did not use a Colin Gillespie as your thumbnail. Wasn't me. Look, our graphics guy might not stay super up to date on college hoops. When I asked him to build me something, they used Colin Gillespie. I said, why not use Ed Pinkney? But it's okay. I am joined by the host of the Bottom Line Bombs podcast, which you should be subscribed to. Give it up for, they call him the man in the box, aka the bet detective. I give you what, CJ Sullivan. How you doing, bro?
Great, and the Laddie Daddy. Don't forget that. I'm adding nicknames each week as we go along here. But thank you, Dundee. Ed Pinkney famously spit on Patrick Ewing in the 1985 championship game after he stepped over him on the line. It was amazing. He stepped over, he knocked down, he went down. It was like an N1 situation, and he stepped over him and spit on him because he's Ed goddamn Pinkney.
Yeah, that's because you don't fucking come at Ed Pinkney. All right.
No.
You don't fucking come at Ed Pinkney, and 1% of our audience probably knows who that is, but I'm talking to them. I don't give a shit about the other ones. All right.
Diamond Ed, by the way.
That's what Google's for, folks. Buddy, college basketball is thriving right now.
Mm-hmm.
Dave says, CJ, I like you more than Colby and Sean and Ryan, but don't tell them I said that. Look at you, buddy. You just
keep that. Yeah, well,
you know?
it's all part of the C block, but I understand. That's also me right now in my my burner account. I'm chatting in there.
Yeah, a lot of people say that I'm the Sergeant Taggart of this operation from Beverly Hills Cop, and just kind of. I'm serious. The chat's been calling me Sergeant Taggart recently.
Nothing wrong with Taggart.
Yeah.
Love Taggart. Taggart was great. Better than Judge Reinhold. I better not be him.
Judge, yeah, that's fair. Billy Rosewood, yeah, Billy Rosewood.
Yeah, I'm the commissioner. I'm like, is this the one who wrecked the buffet table?
Is this the man who wrecked the buffet at the Beverly Ambassador? Buddy, how you been doing on the hoops? I know I texted you the other day saying, let's bet our whole fucking bank account on Duquesne. You're a Duquesne grad.
Yeah.
And we ate
I like that play though.
We ate a big old bag of shit on that.
Yeah, we did. They were up there. They were up. They lost that at the end. That was a play that should have hit. I got luckier. I feel like I got luckier with the Cincinnati play and the K-State play over K-State. They both comebacks got over OT covers, but we'll take it. More importantly, though, Colby D, how about the bombs we gave last week on the Weekend Bomb Edition? The Washington State Cougars outright over Arizona, as predicted, right here on Weekend Bombs Edition.
Well, I don't get break bag.
You don't just go into Pullman, all right?
Yeah.
You don't go into Pullman and get a dub. All right, the Coug was rocking.
Goddamn right.
Oh yeah, we were all over that one, and I'd say so, folks. If you're a brand new listener to this show, we are looking at the dogs on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Got some live dogs that we're just super excited, to talk about. And I mean, I know tonight is a gigantic slate of a bunch of games, not from the strongest of conferences, some would say.
Right. But
I think there is some juicy dogs. And I'm going to start with, you ever been to Pocatello, Idaho?
I've not gone down to, I've not gone down to where they let you live, by the way. You get some goddamn freedom down there at Pocatello, Idaho.
Let me tell you, you never know what's happening in a U-Haul there. All right. You never know. You think you're moving furniture? No. Turns out we're having a secret meeting. I personally think that we got a German pointer.
Okay.
Going in, medium-sized yapper.
Medium-sized yapper. All right.
The Idaho Vandals are taking on Idaho State, the Bengals. It's a rivalry game, but I think the line is off. I think Idaho State being a 5.5, 6 point favorite is a bit concerning. And I think the Vandals are a live dog in Pocatello at the Holt Arena. Dare I say so myself? Any interest? Look, I mean, I know Idaho State's won 6 straight, right?
Yeah.
But they have been some close fucking games. And so let me just run through these scores. So 6 games ago was the biggest blowout. It was a 26 point win. They held the Vandals to just 43 points. But after that, 64-58 overtime win. After that, 81-74 free throws at the end. I feel like after that, 79-70 9-point game. Then a 4-point game a year ago, followed by a 10-point game. I'm telling you, and Idaho basketball is. If Noah Beanick was here, he'd tell you this. They're not the same. Like they're not good, but they're not that. They used to be just a doormat.
You're right.
So. I think they are live.
Listen,
to win this game.
Any state rivalry, and especially when that state's Idaho, anything can goddamn happen. And what is it? A +4? I'm looking at 166 money line.
I see a +190 out there, buddy.
Woo-wee. So that means that Idaho money's coming in. Any state where they let you live, quote unquote, which can mean anything. Let freedom ring. Guns available. Brandish them. Yeah, I like Idaho there. I mean, like you said, they're not as bad as you think they are, or as they used to be perceived. So I can get behind it for sure.
Alex Pribble is the coach that's got this program heading in the right direction.
Okay.
And that is why we load up on the Vandals. You got anything you like on the board for a Thursday night? The games are tipping probably an hour and a half.
Yeah. All right. As far as dogs goes, I mean, there's a couple favorites I like. No need to play them. Put them here. You know, I like Colorado at home to smash Oregon.
I do too. Love that play.
I like Gonzaga on the road to beat the brakes off of Pepperdine. It's the first time as they haven't been ranked in since fucking, the Reagan administration.
Play. We're on that. Already bet that.
Are you? Nice. I like that as well. I think Illinois beats Michigan as well. But as far as here's a couple big dogs. All right. I don't know how outrights they can get, but we're looking at Siberian Huskies. We're looking at
Malin Watts.
Yeah, the Malin Watts, some sheep dogs, if you will. Let me dial it up, make sure they see what time they go off here. We're gonna go down to Memphis City Barbecue. I think Memphis coming off a high, a little inflated. They're laying. Well, it's down to 10 now. Last night I took this at plus 12. South Florida.
I'm on that South Florida train as well. Now I did get it at the bigger number, but I do think this is going to be a close game.
I do too. Go ahead.
No, Abdul Rahim coming into South Florida, things changed the basketball culture. I know you look at it and say they're 9-5. They've been a little unpredictable this year, but they in big spots, I feel like they've gotten up, and I'm with you. And I also think the team is more talented than they've been in some time.
Yeah.
What's his name? Kassan Pryor is a beast. Chris Youngblood coming over as a transfer from Kennesaw. They're a much better team than people think. And Memphis has been playing with fire lately. Not necessarily the last game, but the previous 3 or 4, they were playing with fire. So I think you run with the Bulls down there at Beale Street. Go to BB King's afterwards.
Yes, if these Beale Street could talk, I love that movie. If Beale Street could talk, from what I've seen, they don't shut the fuck up. Anyway, point is, you're never going to get Memphis higher than you're going to get Memphis right now. They're market wise. So it's a perfect time to fade them. I got them at plus 12 last night, but they're at 10. I still like them at plus double. Any double digit South Florida. Give me that one. Now here's a bigger dog. Here's an Irish setter.
Ooh.
Everyone loves last year's Final Four run team with this Florida Atlantic squad. And they're talented. They're fun to watch, but they're not the same balanced team as they were last year. I don't think.
This is bold.
They've yet to cover a game in conference, by the way.
I know.
So far. Now, last week's was kind of a bad beat. They should have covered there. But the point is, laying 15.5 to a Wichita State squad, who obviously is not the same Wichita State team. I also think this is a perfect time. All right. I'm not saying outright, although that would be nice and juicy at plus 890. But I'll take 15.5 with Wichita State anytime going down there, just because with the way South Florida's defense is, they're not covering these big numbers.
Look, I took Wichita, but I did not bet this game because I feel like FAU is due to blow out somebody. But I like it. 15.5 point dog. You are really
Hey, what are we doing here? We're dropping bombs. We're doing big dogs. I can tell you're not too convinced with Wichita. I mean, obviously,
and they could cover. I just don't feel. I don't think the outright win is live. But
okay,
I've been wrong plenty of times in my life before. Look, you were talking Memphis. I like that Memphis angle. South Florida, give them a game, and I'll stay in the great state of Tennessee.
Yeah,
because I think. I look for these little rivalry games like Idaho State. Tennessee Tech is heading into Nashville, Tennessee at the Gentry Complex.
Yes.
Check out the back patio over there. And I think 7.5 for Tennessee Tech team that's won 2 straight.
I can get behind this.
Got a plus 275 on the money line. I think the Golden Eagles might be flapping their wings through Nashville.
Okay.
I look at it to be a close game. I understand, Tennessee State's been the better program of late. Tennessee State won by 6 a year ago, but I do think Tennessee Tech's improved. So And I like these little rivalry games. These, they probably scrimmage against each other in the off season. So there's a little more animosity. It's a little more chippy than normal. And I think there's more chance of an upset there. So I think Tennessee Tech could be live there against Tennessee State.
All right.
I also have Kelly LePepe potential up there in San Francisco. CBS Sports Network covering this one at the War Memorial Gymnasium against the Dons.
Yeah, I don't. The Dons, which we know very well.
We
know the Lions and the Dons.
Now, I just don't ever like laying double digits with San Francisco traditionally.
Right.
And then you add, I mean, yes, if it's Pacific or something, or New Orleans coming out there, but Loyola plays them every year, and I actually think you could argue that Loyola might have the more talented roster. Now they haven't put it together; they're 8-9 this year, but Loyola did beat a UNLV team earlier in the year.
They did.
That's what I'm saying.
And when they're hitting their shots, they're dangerous. They can shoot.
That's why I think they could be live. They could. I understand it's hard to go up there and get that dub. Last year was a 2-point game. 2-point game. So I'm buying a little stock on Kelly LePepe and my Lions. Where the hell's my? Oh, it's in the other room. But no, it's you don't seem convinced. You don't seem very convinced on that one.
Well, I kind of like San Fran in that game. You got to need size, and their center who was good last year. He hasn't done shit this year. I don't know. I think San. You're right though. Laying double digits with San Fran is a tall task.
All right, you want? No, I'll give you one more before we switch over to a Friday slate.
I also have a tiny Maltese of a dog.
Fire! Release that hound.
It doesn't get smaller than this. With the tiny little Maltese +1, but they should be favored. I think this team should be favored by 5, and that's Marshall, Old Dominion. I love Marshall in this game. I think Marshall's the better team. They're more talented. Everything about it. I think they should be laying 5, and they're getting 105 on the money line. Either way you want to do it. I think this. I think this little ankle biter dog right at the door. It'll nip it just to get your Friday night going. That starts in an hour. So get that in there. Love Marshall over Old Dominion. What do you think about that?
I have a wager on Old Dominion. So
we're setting up. We're doing a perfect ad read for cut.com. Peer-to-peer betting.
Exactly. Look, my logic is this.
Yeah, give me your logic. Let me hear. Talk me out of this.
Why is ODU favored?
Yes.
And then also ODU has blown about 5 double-digit leads over the past 7 games. I would say 5 to 7 games.
Correct.
And Marshall's been pretty ass on the road.
Okay.
And I just feel like Old Dominion's a lot better than their record, and they're going to get up to get one of these at some point. I think it happens tonight.
So the line is fishy, and they're due.
They're better than their record. They were up like 20 points against a lot of their recent losses.
All right.
So they just had I actually don't want them to start out hot. I want a close game the entire way.
Yes. Reverse that trend a bit. All right.
One more tonight that I think is live. King Rice. Right. I'm a King Rice fan, even though he's a Tar Heel. Great coaching job over there at Monmouth. His son is a complete fucking stud on this team. I don't know if you had a chance to watch Monmouth, but
I have not called Monmouth.
They're heading to Philadelphia. To the home of Drexel. Forget the name. What the fuck is the stadium name?
The Drexel Dragons.
Yes, and Drexel's good this year. They're 12-6. They're an exciting team to watch. This one's on CBS Sports Network too.
Yeah,
and I am riding Monmouth +380 on the money line. I definitely think they're covering. You bet both. Take the points to cover your ass. I think they are live to win the game in Philly against Drexel. Sprinkle a little bit on that money line.
Wow. Oh man. Well, you're coming out. Yeah.
Do I need to tell you?
I've always liked Drexel. They're the 6th team in the Big 5. You know what I mean?
Let me just give you a little reason why.
The Daskalaskis Athletic Center, by the way.
Monmouth has a win. Yeah, there it is. Monmouth has a win in Morgantown this year. All right. They have a win against the Towson Tigers. They have a win against Northeastern, decent program. They have a close loss to UNC Wilmington on the road and Charleston. They played well in both those games, in my opinion.
Right.
Cornell, they lose, by 4. Cornell's a really good team this year. They beat Lafayette, who's undefeated in the Patriot League. They are better than their record, and that is why they cover and might just win the game in Philadelphia. I can't wait for it. I know. Look, I know you stay close to that Jersey,
I do.
Pennsylvania scene. What do you think about that play?
Drexel runs that. They're on that borderline with LaSalle there in Philly. You step across county lines. Basically, next thing you know, you're in trouble. A lot of heated rivalries, so they don't take well to outsiders coming in there. Penn is also right there. That's who they stomp on. They get along with LaSalle. They don't like Penn. Penn are the snooty med doctors. Your M. Night Shyamalans. But 9.5 is a lot. And Drexel is good this year. Better than they usually are. Hopefully, I don't know if they're going to be a tournament this year. They've made it about 5 times, maybe in their existence.
It's too many points.
It is too many points. I'll take Monmouth there. I've been to a Monmouth game, been to Rider games, I've been to Drexel games. They're all it's a heated gymnasium type environment on a Thursday night. I'll take 9.5. Try to get out of there. You like a money line there too, about 4-1?
I do. I think you sprinkle some because I think it's going to come down to the final couple minutes. Now, Drexel has drilled some teams, but I just think Monmouth is a better team than their record, better team than that line, and I think they stick around and make it a game. Let's take a look at tomorrow's action, short card, and then an unbelievable Saturday card. But before we do that, I want to tell you that the College Basketball Experience Weekend Bombs Edition is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs. Look, DraftKings Sportsbook is bringing you an offer to help make the playoffs truly electrifying. New customers can bet $5 on any game and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use that promo code SGP. Once again, new customers can bet $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the promo code SGP. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 age plus varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issue, and cdkng./football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. All right, we're back. How's that Boot Hill Casino and Resort, CJ? I got a feeling you don't stand up there.
The Boot Hill? They put you right. They put you right at the toe. Then they kick you out. They kick you out before they pay you. That's kind of casino it is, but it's fine. It's a fine, beautiful casino. The Boot Hill. I have not played the Boot Hill Casino. I would like to though.
Fuck you doing with your life, man? If you haven't
problem with casinos is, and I like playing casinos, is they pay you in chips because they know you're going to give it right back to them. These sons of bitches, and they're right. They're right. We're gonna go right to the fucking cage.
That didn't happen to me. That didn't happen to me when I did Pachanga.
Pachanga did it. I know. Well, sometimes they don't have the denominations that they need for you. They're gonna go for us. I'm just kidding. But yeah, we're not gonna go right to the cage with these chips. No, I'm putting them right on the felt, and I'm gonna lose it. That's what I'm gonna do. Norm Macdonald, by the way, famously, like his manager, like they wouldn't let him. They do not pay him in cash, and they would give him like a certain $500 that he would do because he knew he would just gamble away his entire check. Because he would ask for cash, and they would have to put it in writing: "Do not pay this man."
Rest in peace to the great Norm Macdonald.
The best, the greatest,
the absolute best, the absolute fucking best, man. I got some good Norm stories I have to tell the audience some point. So Friday, UNLV is heading to Colorado State. That's a big one. That. Yeah. I actually think that's not a dog. That's I think you want to probably. I think I know we're supposed to give out dogs here, but I think
we don't have to give out dogs. Your plays are plays.
I think Colorado State's going to fuck them up. Colorado State was looking ahead, got caught in that Air Force game. UNLV just won at Boise. I think it's a tough back-to-back away there. I look to ride the Rams minus the points.
I did too. All these teams going in elevation like that. We didn't talk about Utah tonight too, but like
I'm on Utah.
Love it. I mean, the road home splits with those teams are insane.
So I got a DM today regarding this Indiana-Wisconsin game. Wisconsin lost in State College the other night. I was on Penn State as a money line play.
Yeah, good dog there.
I got a DM from a source saying I'm close to the Indiana program. They're an auto fade tomorrow. Tons of locker room problems, and Xavier Johnson's probably going to get kicked off the team.
What?
That's the DM I received.
I like that.
So I think that means, do we trust that intel and load up on the Badgers?
Smash!
I think we need to consider that right there.
I mean, those are famous last word stories. How many times have you heard that in your gambling career? Somebody's inside tip about locker room. This one's got, they don't like him. Trust me. Bet the farm against Indiana. And you realize real quick, those athletes can compartmentalize pretty well, no matter, even if they don't like it.
Very true.
But I liked Wisconsin anyway, coming off that loss. Bounce back at home. Indiana, who just got pounded, of course. I was on them versus Purdue. Never stood a chance that fucking game. That was over. Purdue just put on a clinic against them. So what's the report? There's a lot of in-house fighting after that game.
Yeah, people are bitching left and right, but I mean, look, these are projected numbers. I see
That's
like
what
Wisconsin.
happens when you lose by 30. You know.
I see Wisconsin minus 12. I actually think it'll be shorter than that. I think it'll be like 9 or 10 because Wisconsin doesn't historically blow out these teams in Madison.
It's 11 right now on Bet Online. 144.5 is a total.
Okay, so I was right. It'll be a little lower.
Yep. I'll lay the. If I had to make a bet, I'll lay the 11. The only thing that's giving me pause is that report that you got in your DMs. To be honest with you, I think that's,
yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's fair. Well,
if anything, it's making me want to sprinkle the money line. Oh no, they're mad at each other after getting blown out. No shit. Call it athletes.
I'm trying to convince myself on one of these other yappers. I like the Colorado State play.
That's a little small dog.
Yeah. You know
Here's
what? I think Long Island, the fucking Sharks, can cover 2.5 or 3 at St. Francis. That would be the fucking one that I want. The fucking Sharks.
The Sharks. Interesting.
I don't see a lot that I mean, maybe you can talk me into Siena. They seem to be playing better.
I was lining Siena up myself there. I think if anything, I would. Not that it's a Quinnipiac fade, but I like the way Siena's been playing. Friday night, I like Friday night home dogs personally. And they're all short ones.
Clark in the chat says Xavier being a 14.5 point favorite over Georgetown is ridiculous.
And and the line's going Xavier's way. I know people aren't rushing to the window to bet Georgetown. That's for sure.
I would take the Hoyas though. That's too many
points.
I would.
It is a lot of points for sure.
I don't think they'll win it outright, but I definitely think you take the points there in the Hoyas. I got to be honest. I don't love the Underdog slate tomorrow on college basketball that much.
What about that Toledo Central Michigan game?
I just think Toledo's a lot better than Central Michigan, but
they sure are. So that's where you got to have the vision.
Actually, you know what? I got one for you. Canisius is going to beat Iona. Canisius is getting 4. I could see them getting Iona. I could also see Marist getting Mount St. Mary's, but those are short yappers. Those are very short yappers.
Not too short. That Iona Canisius line's up to 5.5 now here on Bet Online.
I can see the Golden Griffs giving them a game.
I could see that as well. What about Marist going into Mount St. Mary's?
I actually like Marist to win that game.
Yes. Getting 3.5. Why not?
I like that Marist. The Red Foxes. Let's go.
That's a small dog I can get behind there. A little mini Red Fox. Get in there.
Yeah, it's not the greatest slate, but Saturday.
Yeah, let's get to Saturday. Let's get to the good stuff.
Enough of this bullshit Friday slate. Saturday slate is fire. Between this, you got the NFL playoffs. You got all that good shit going on.
I'm going to be in Vegas for this, so I need to write down all the big ones here because I'm going to lose all my money on the Ravens. So let's get right into what I need to chase.
I'm on the Ravens too. But there's a lot of juicy dogs here. I'm going to go ahead and say from the start, the biggest games. I'm not gonna list my plays, but just to inform the audience how great the slate is Alabama at Tennessee, Iowa State, TCU, BYU at Texas Tech, Marquette, St. John's, Baylor at Texas. That's when I expect Baylor to be a short dog. I like Baylor's chances. UConn is at Villanova Saturday night. Huskies should be laying, I think, 2 points or so. San Diego State at Boise, huge game in the Mountain West. Oklahoma at Cincinnati, Clemson at Florida State, red hot Florida State. Miami at Syracuse. Miami desperately needs a win. Purdue. How about this one? Let's talk about this one for a second. Purdue at Iowa. So, Iowa's got guys that are staple to the court. Purdue does too, but Purdue is coming off of a gigantic blowout win against their arch rivals.
Yep.
You remember Indiana swept them a year ago. So I
they
think
look amazing. Yes.
All of their focus was on that game. Back to back away now. They're in Iowa City. What could go wrong?
Here we go. I love this.
Now Purdue did beat them by 19 last year. But
I mean, Iowa at home though. Anyway, first of all, I play Iowa team totals over at home. That's an auto play for me. I don't even care because they're going to score. That's what they do. Now they can give up 1,000 points as well. That's what they like to do too. But they're going to be getting 10 at home in this game. I kind of like that angle. It's the back-to-back tough road game here for Purdue. Indiana, even though they did smoke them, it is their rival, in-state rivalry.
I could just see Purdue laying off the gas a little bit, not as focused because, I could bring up the stats from last year and the analytics all favor Purdue, but I just think it's a letdown spot off of that game that I think they really channeled their best efforts to get up and beat their arch rivals. Just throwing that one out there as potential one. I don't know if they'll win on the money line, but I like the points at least. I'm
with you. Iowa plus 10, lock it in. That's my first Saturday get right game and money line. I'll definitely you got to sprinkle money line in that game because those are games Purdue loses.
And I also think we go back to the well with your boys. Duquesne is at St. Joe's, USA Network. Enjoy them diving into college hoops.
Yeah.
Nothing like catching a Walker Texas Ranger after. Duquesne's getting 7.5 at St. Joe's in Philly.
The Hawk will not die. USA Network, formerly of obviously Monk in Suits.
yes. And Blue Bloods, right?
Blue Bloods, formerly of the Cable Ace Awards. If you really want to date yourself, you like them getting 7.5 there?
I think they're live. St. Joe's is a decent team.
Yes.
I just think they're live though. So I do like that.
I know it's tough. Duquesne's been dead to me. I've hammered them last couple times. Versus Dayton was just flat out the wrong play. Last game it was the right play that they blew. But so you're buying the dip here with the Dukes, and St. Joe's isn't good enough to be laying 7.5. That's for sure.
Yeah, I thought that line's a little out of line right now. But what do you think about North Carolina going into Boston College? Sleepy game. Chestnut Hill's always that sleepy road spot. I don't like fading this Carolina team because they've made me eat shit. But I did cash on Louisville the other night. But could BC get Carolina there in Chestnut Hill? Could that be a little upset? I feel like this BC team not as bad as traditional BC teams. They're 11-6. That game's on the C-Dub.
I was just going to say, speaking of Chestnut Hill, this will be on the CW network where One Tree Hill resides.
But North Carolina is interesting because they've been looking so good this year, but they do have Wake Forest on deck. Wake Forest has been playing a lot better. That's kind of a little rivalry game.
I want no parts of fading North Carolina right now. They are an absolute.
I was trying to sell you. On it. I don't even know that I believe my bullshit.
Yeah, just move on.
Yeah.
I thought last Saturday was a sleeper spot for a little trap game. Was for Syracuse. They beat the fucking brakes off of them. But they're just a wagon, as the kids say right now. I'll stay away from it if it is a trap spot. You're right. That BC is better. All those are valid points, but that's not going to make it a play for me. I cannot bet against North Carolina right now.
All right. What about this one?
25-1 if you want to get some shares on them to win the chip, by the way. They look like a force.
They do look really fucking good right now. They do look really good. I'm looking mainly for. I mean, first off, load up on Big 12 home teams. I know these aren't yappers, but I think you play Cincinnati. They're laying 2 against Oklahoma. I think you take Texas Tech. They're laying 1, or no, they're getting a fucking 1.5 at home against BYU. Texas Tech just got whooped by Houston, and I think TCU will drill Iowa State. So I do like those Big 12 home teams. For the most part, I am taking Baylor at Texas. I'm curious your thoughts on Florida is laying 4.5 at Mizzou. Now I know this Mizzou team not nearly as good as last year's Mizzou team, but Florida's been ass on the road this year. It's a tricky spot for them to be favored. They've been ass on the road this year. Maybe it's a get right spot. Maybe they drill them. It's an interesting line. I'm not saying that I'm in love with taking Mizzou, but I think it's worth having a conversation. As if Dennis Gates and the Tigers can pull the upset against the Gators, who have been complete ass on the road. I don't think it's a terrible spot.
No, I like Mizzou here, to be honest with you. I don't think. I mean, you don't think do any convincing to me. I think Mizzou wins this game. I think they win this game outright, as long as Nate Oates isn't there shoving players on the sideline. I mean, what
what a jackass! I can't stand him, to tell you the truth, man.
He's the worst.
I can't stand it. He's very fucking arrogant too. He's like, I feel like his apologies are never sincere. He just seems very arrogant to me. Yeah,
he's the worst. But Mizzou's a tough place to play, especially on a Saturday afternoon. I've been to Mizzou games out there. They get into it. It's a tough place. Florida's a better team for sure. But they're definitely capable of dropping this game.
And then there's one that Moneyline Mac wants us to talk about, because the Jayhawks are laying 9 in Morgantown.
Another wagon, Kansas.
They did lose at UCF in Orlando.
They did, and they haven't looked back since.
I still think you take the points in Dub V, but I don't know. I know Mac's calling for the money line play.
They smoked both Oklahomas.
Yeah.
And Mac wants, of course, Mac's on his West Virginia. What does Mac say about his Mountaineers in this game?
They say he thinks they can beat them outright, and just because the home edge, the crowd, and the fact that they've gotten more cohesive as a unit. They're getting more and more reps, because remember they didn't have their starting 5 really for like the whole first 2 months of the season. Guy here, guy there. Now, Jesse Edwards is still out for them, but I understand that logic. I am taking the points because I do think that place will be lit anytime Kansas comes into your town, especially Morgantown. They're gonna fucking burn down the fucking place, just in the hope that they can knock off this blue blood.
Yeah, they're burning it regard, win or lose. Couches are being burned. That's what they do.
Another one that is appealing to me, because it doesn't seem like you're buying into this Kansas one.
I mean, listen, I like all those points about West Virginia. I just think Kansas already had their slip up, and I don't see them slipping, going right 2 steps forward, 1 step back with them. They're not on North Carolina level right now, but you're catching them on the way up right now again, which I would want no parts of.
You quoting Paula Abdul songs?
I'm quoting MC Scat Cat. Okay, I always wonder what happened to MC Scat Cat.
Take 2 steps forward, 2 steps back.
Yeah. That guy probably thought, like, man, this is gonna be my breakout career. I got to rap on a Paula Abdul song. She's #1 star in the world. Yeah, we're gonna make you a cartoon cat. How about that? Cartoon cat. Yeah, I'll give you a 50s hat though. Who knows me? Nobody.
Cartoon cat. That is. He must have done something to piss them off. That's the only way.
What the fuck did he actually look like? We're like, let's just try as a cartoon. How about that?
They must have done something to piss him off. No way you're just signing up for that. No way you're just saying, oh yeah, take my verse and make it a fucking cartoon cat. No.
Yeah, this guy thought it should be his big break, for fuck's sakes,
So Pitt is catching. Your Pitt Panthers are catching 11 at Cameron Indoor.
Yeah,
no way you take that. No way you take that.
I actually, and I do not like Duke, but I hope they thrash them by 30. There's no way you could take Pitt there.
Mike Snow White has got Georgia playing good ball. They head to Rupp Arena.
Yep.
Kentucky's laying 11. You got Ashley Judd. She's always going to these fucking games. You know what I mean? Double jeopardy.
No one complains about Ashley Judd like they complain about Taylor Swift, because Ashley Judd is a real fucking fan. She's up in the bleachers. She's up there. She's pushing elbows, and she's a Judd. You know, we know her family's about that life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
About that Kentucky life. So that's when people say that, it's sexism with Taylor Swift. No, it's not. She's just not a real bitch like Ashley Judd is. So just get in line, motherfucker.
100%. 100%.
Love Ashley Judd.
Yeah, I mean, come on. She told Harvey Weinstein to go fuck himself. You gotta love that.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And even if she's an annoying officer with the politics, her fandom is real. You know?
Yeah.
Taylor Swift's fandom ain't real.
Loved her in the movie Heat.
Oh, of course. You know? She was amazing. She gave it a little with the vow, don't come in. I'm sucking this guy's dick. There's cops in here. Heroes.
Penn State just knocked off Wisconsin.
Right.
Now they head to Columbus, where Ohio State seems to be a fucking train wreck. They're laying 10.5.
I know. This line seems outrageous.
It does. It makes me not want to touch the game, to tell you the truth, because how the fuck is that line? There's no way it's going to be that line, right?
10.5. It's saying right now, Ohio State, Penn State. That's playing too much of the letdown on Penn State situation. Like you said, Ohio State. What do you do? Who's Ohio State?
Holtman should have been fired. Holtman should have been fired a while ago. But yeah, I mean, I still think you got to take Penn State, but that line stinks. It stinks to high heaven.
Yeah, I don't get that line at all. So which makes me stay away from it.
Northwestern's getting 4.5 in Lincoln, Nebraska. The only problem is Fred Hoiberg has turned that place into a lit fucking environment. I don't have any faith in Northwestern covering that.
Yeah, what's going on? Are they giving away free women's volleyball posters or something at every game? Why is that place so fucking lit all of a sudden?
Is that why Bobby Petrino was there? How about this one? You know, I like my little border battles and my rivalries. This one, they call this one the Brawl of the Wild, but on the hardwood. Montana is laying 3.5 in Bozeman. Montana's located in Missoula. They're in Bozeman taking on Montana State.
Right.
I do believe Montana's the better basketball team, but rivalry game on the road. We got a home dog. Give me that Bobcats plus 3.5.
Yes, let's take those Bobcats.
Little yapper for you.
For sure. I like that play like that. I mean, I will definitely have action on the Brawl of the Wild. I mean, just so I can yell that in a sports book as loud as I can with some drink tickets. Let's go the Brawl of the Wild, baby. People are like, what the fuck are you talking about? We're watching NFL playoffs. Can we get the Brawl of the Wild on the main screen here, please?
Get this Lamar Jackson asshole off the TV. I want the Brawl of the Wild.
Well, that might even be 49er time. Get these fucking Niners off. And can we get the Brawl of the Wild out here, please? Jordan Love, come on.
If you're at the Win, I think they'll have it on. I know you're not going to be at the Win because I
will not be at the Win.
But
I'm personally boycotting that after they got rid of that great man, Steve Wynn, for getting a little too loose with his masseuse. I mean, if you can't get a little extra in your massage as a billionaire, what hope do I have? The man in the box. Go to my local Thai joint after that.
It doesn't change the fact you're still named the Win.
I know, right?
You know, what the fuck?
You can get rid of the man, but you can't fucking rip the name off the board. You try to do that to our president, Trump. They can't do it to Win.
Right. It's still Jerry Richardson Stadium in Charlotte, right?
Yeah, it is Jerry Richardson.
He's got a fucking statue. He was like, I'm out, but here's my statue. It's staying here.
It lives forever, okay? Unless you tear it down like you tear down every other goddamn statue, for crying out loud. How about your East Carolina Pirates? They're going out to UAB, right?
Oh, they're live. They got their heart broken the other night. UAB just had a huge win.
Mm-hmm. I like East Carolina here.
Catching 3 points in that Birmingham filth.
All right. Is that all that is? Is 3? I thought there'd be getting a little more.
It might be a little more. It might be a little more.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I was saying I was hoping that line would be a little longer. No, you're right. The projected line is just under 3 points. So I still like ECU to go out there and win. I think it's a perfect little spot for them.
What about? Yeah, I mean ECU. I'll play the music because I think that's what you're really asking for. That's what you're really asking for.
All right.
Folks, I want to tell you that the college basketball experience is brought to you by Cut. Yes, Cut is peer-to-peer social betting platform that's US based and available in 40 different states. P2P, not PCP. P2P social betting is a new and better way to bet. Bet directly against your friends or other users on sports, politics, pop culture, and other verifiable events. What are you doing, folks? Check it out. Go to cut.com. Use that promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. CJ, you ever bet on politics before?
Absolutely. One of my biggest wins actually was election day of it was live in-game betting of Biden Trump. When
you loaded up on Sleepy Joe, they say. Huh?
I loaded up on Sleepy Joe once the news hit where it looked like Trump was going to win, and it just kept going these crazy numbers like Trump minus 700, 800. I'm like, I'm not buying these reports. I mean, it could be right, it could be wrong, but it was a price I could not refuse, and I turned away. So I hit Biden at a lot of plus money.
I have not bet on politics. You ever bet on the Oscars?
And then all bets were voided after January 6th. Election results not final. Exit was stolen.
Yeah.
Politics. Yeah, I've hit politics before.
Oscars.
Absolutely. Oscars. Obviously, there's limits to those things, but they're fun. They're fun things to bet on. And those markets move quickly. That's the thing I was talking about. I had a good bet on because those markets just move so fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
I loaded up on that piece of shit Bear for the Emmys at some of those. not that the show's a piece of shit, but all the actors won for young cousin. Hey,
so what do you do?
Hey, cousin, give me 3 sweet beets with an extra jardiniere, cousin. Here's your Emmy.
So wait, you go out and catch a brand new movie on a Friday, and then what? You like it so much you just say, I got to get in on this future.
You hear whispers. You hear, well, it's all rigged, that shit. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Politics. My buddy Nick Vatterott, he was like, okay, Scorsese's going to win for this Flowers movie, the killer, the Native American one. He's doing it. He read the whole thing, so he loaded up on it. And then when the trailer came out, the trailer came out when we went to go see Mission Impossible together. And it's his first time he's ever seen it, sight unseen. He goes, oh, fuck, what did I do? He goes, what did I do? Because I can rip that ticket up.
That's a bold move to buy the futures before seeing the film. You got to see the film, I think.
I don't know, because sometimes it's written in stone before it even happens. You know what I mean? Like Oppenheimer, you just knew it was going to be nominated no matter what. Especially now that they nominate 8 or 9 or 10 of them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Are you trying to get into this market? I know I can't imagine you embracing this.
Well, I've always wondered about an edge, and maybe if I get some intel. I know a few people. No, absolutely. And I do get some inside intel. And sometimes it's just like any other inside intel. Sometimes it's right. Sometimes it's wrong. And sometimes it's like, well, I heard differently. But luckily, that's why they put limits on it. Because if there was no limits on it, then that information definitely could get out. But who knows? But sometimes they say the wrong name and give out the wrong envelope. Do they do it for the raspberries too?
The Razzies? Yeah, no, they don't do it for that. That you could definitely get some intel on.
Oh, Sharknado 7. I'll take it all day. All right, folks. I also want to tell you we're brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy has a way to play alongside your favorite fantasy players all season long. They got NFL, NBA, NHL, college football, and college basketball. Simply pick higher or lower in your favorite players' fantasy stats and cash in, people. So what are you doing? Sign up with the promo code TCESGPN, and Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code TCESGPN. There's still a few I want to talk about on this beautiful Saturday slate before we turn the page to Sunday and get the fuck out of here. Want to talk about the potential upsets happening. Do you think Steve Alford and Nevada could lose in Wyoming? Wyoming is a 8.5 point dog at home in Laramie there. Mm-hmm. Now it doesn't seem like you're sold on that one. They've lost 2 in a row. That is a scary thought, but maybe the wheels are off.
But that doesn't mean that they have to win this game. And you know what happens in Wyoming. That's fucking lawless.
That's what I'm saying. So it is lawless up there. It's lawless. I don't know. I feel like that's potential one. Dayton's one. No, but they're at home. If they were on the road, I would say maybe I expect them to lose at some point coming up.
How about that South Carolina Arkansas game? It looks like about a pick 'em, but I mean, is Arkansas this trash? We keep waiting for, Musselman to get this shit going. But
I wrote them against A&M. They almost blew that game, but they hit, and I think they salvaged their season by doing that. I actually like Arkansas to take care of South Carolina.
Okay.
Wait, that's in Fayetteville, right? Or
that's in Arkansas. Yep.
Yeah, they're gonna win that game. I think they're gonna win that game. So I actually like loading up there on the Razorbacks. A couple other ones that are appealing to me potentially. What do you think of Gonzaga heading to San Diego to take on Steve Lavin?
Well, like I said, I like Gonzaga tonight. I mean, they are unranked for the first time in a while, and I think they're going to unleash a little.
Yeah, I'm on the Zags tonight too, which means they could be. San Diego's been a hard team to read, though. They beat Arizona State. Yes. They lose to these shitty teams. You know what I mean? They're a hard team to understand.
Right. Speaking of Arizona State, I just like fading this USC team. USC is going to Arizona State that Saturday. I think that line's Arizona State -1. I like Arizona State there.
I do too, like Arizona State. USC, I took them. They did cover for me in Tucson.
They covered last night. Yeah. Versus great team in Arizona. That's why, and I also think they put a lot into it. They played well, to be honest with you. They had to after the efforts they've been putting out there. That's why I like Arizona State there, actually, a little bit.
I like it.
And why is Stanford favored over anyone, let alone Washington here on Saturday night? 3. I mean, not that Washington's that great, but Stanford is terrible.
I need to see how tonight goes with Stanford.
They're favorite tonight too, aren't they?
I took Wazoo. Mac took Stanford. And
give me Wazoo.
Yeah, I think jump out on that. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like what about
here's one? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's
that? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the Johnnies are laying 2. Rick Pitino's had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
They're wearing the retro uniforms that the chat was talking about earlier. Shaka Smart going into the Garden. I didn't know if Pitino's playing, but if he's coaching, you know what I mean.
What a difference he made in the Garden. Which I kind of think those games in the Garden gives Marquette more of an edge, or less.
It does. I think you're right. I think you're right there.
So I kind of like Marquette here. I mean, I don't know if I like, but if I had to choose, I would take Marquette. They'll be getting a couple points. They're the better team. I like St. John's a lot, obviously, with Pitino. But in the Garden, on when it's those early Saturday afternoon games at the Garden, yeah, it doesn't make it hostile or intimidating. It just seems,
All right, I got one for you. Army is at Navy.
Yes, sir.
CBS Sports Network, 10:30 a.m.
Well, I love it.
Pacific.
Running the 4 corners, running the wishbone.
The Black Knights are getting 5.5.
Swinging gates.
The problem here is Navy's fucked them up recently. But they don't have many athletes. I feel like 5.5 is a great spot. There's some value, even though I do think Navy's the better team. I mean, wouldn't shock me if Army won the game. You?
No, it wouldn't shock me. And they do have revenge, and that's how these ebbs and flows go with those rivalries too. It doesn't go one-sided for too long. It usually comes back, and this is an easy game. I'm surprised this game isn't at 0600. That's what time. No TV whatsoever.
Did you order the code red?
Now, what do you think about this game? This is what I wanted to get to. Creighton at Seton Hall.
I'm on Creighton, actually.
I think so too. I think Seton Hall. Talk about peak Seton Hall right now. This is the top of the market for Seton Hall. Well, I like Seton Hall. Love Holloway. They're they're 6-1 start in Big East play under Holloway.
Yeah,
They're definitely great at home. I think it's a good time to fade them. They snuck into the. They're going to be ranked now. Are they ranked?
I think they are, right? If not, they're going to be on Monday.
Yeah, if not, they will be.
Yeah.
So I think it's a perfect time to do it.
I like that angle. Michael Crichton to get it done in Newark. Let's talk about Sunday slate before we get out of here.
All right, let's get out of here.
All right. But before we do that, folks, I want to tell you the college basketball experience brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Win bigger, I bet it's smarter this NFL postseason with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use that promo code SGPN. You get 50% off your first month today. Start research and start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. We're also brought to you by the SGPN merch store. We got some Bet Detective t-shirts in there that are fire. CJ Sullivan Bet Detective. We also got Man in the Box t-shirts too.
And bottom line bombs.
All of it. All of it. Get
available.
all over there. There's 15% off everything in the store from now to the end of the month with the promo code playoffs. We're competing against other shows too. So give CJ Sullivan, get a Pick Dundee t-shirt, get a Bet Detective.
Get a nice Dundee as well. Help us both out.
Let's rig the fucking election. Let's go.
Yeah, it's January 6th, this motherfucker.
Sunday.
All right.
Sunday. The college basketball is hilarious because they load up on their Sundays, but after the NFL playoffs, they're like, no, we're not competing with that shit. We're going to give you St. Peter's and Canisius on,
I know. Right.
Sunday.
Would this be the time to fade Memphis? They go to Tulane.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If they don't hit tonight, we're all over Tulane. Then
that's what it is.
Right?
Memphis is an if bet.
Yes.
I'm fading Memphis
it's
tonight.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
This is like half chasing. If the first half doesn't hit, you double in the second half. If Memphis, if the fade doesn't work tonight, you double down on Tulane on Sunday. I like that.
I'm with you. It's a what's it a two-step. It's a two-step right there.
Two-step.
Yeah.
Speaking of two steps, how about these Oregon Ducks, who I am fading tonight in Colorado?
I am fading them in Colorado, and I think I'm going to fade them in Salt Lake City too.
And I want to double dip, double altitude, go into Colorado altitude. Then you got to go to Salt Lake and play Utah, and Utah is a fucking machine at home. It seems like, especially defensively. That line's looking at 8. I think they got pounded both games, and I like the way Oregon's been playing. Actually, their defense has been playing a little better, but this is just a road trip they want to get rid of.
That's a daunting one going out there.
Yep.
Crazy elevation, crazy fans. How about this one though? The Maryland Terrapins are going to beat Michigan State. Maryland's playing better basketball. It's in College Park. They're so much better. They're Tom Izzo coming in. I think Maryland plus 5.5 in College Park. I think they're a live money line play to get it done. Now the other one, Indiana State, Murray State. I actually think we should lay the points with Indiana State's a fucking wagon. Okay. Indiana State. They got Larry Joe Bird back there because
Larry Joe,
they're like top 10 in every offensive fucking statistic.
We're talking pre-dad suicide Larry Bird too, when he was just firing on every angle and hitting.
Yeah, when he was laying the asphalt for his mother's driveway. I think that's it. That's you got to go. Now we do have Wichita, South Florida on Sunday. You got Rutgers, Illinois. Can Rutgers cover 13 in Champaign? I hate taking Rutgers on the road because they go through like long ass scoring droughts, but I still think 13 is too big of a number.
Wait, Rutgers is catching 13 at Illinois, you're saying?
Yeah.
That is a lot. That is a large number.
It's too big of a number. It's too fucking big of a
Are
number.
They playing, is that Illinois, Michigan tonight?
Yes.
That's a small line too. Isn't it like 2 or something?
Yeah, I rode the Illini, but
Ryan.
What do you think
about that game real quick? Ryan likes Michigan.
He likes Michigan. Doug McDaniel, he's on that house arrest suspension.
Yeah, he's allowed
to play home games.
Right, he can play home games so he can keep his studies afloat. What the fuck is that even about?
Doesn't make any sense.
I'm just not buying Michigan coming back at all. I like Illinois there. But that being said, 13's a lot for Rutgers, but I don't want any parts of that game.
Yeah, I mean, 13 for Rutgers. I would take the 13. How about Chattanooga, East Tennessee State? Little in-state battle. I think the Mocs are a little bit better than East Tennessee State. It's in Johnson City though, at East Tennessee State. Mocs can get that done. I don't really like that many other plays on the Sunday card.
No, that's it. Put the rest on the Bills.
Yeah, let's go, folks. I guess we'll wrap it up here. We'll be back next week talking more bombs. Subscribe to the Bottom Line Bombs podcast. CJ Sullivan. What you guys tackle everything? NFL
We do. We
fucking
NFL.
playoffs.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right now, NFL playoffs are very heavy. Of course, the man in the box segment, it was anything off words. Today it was all about this cop car. There's nothing worse than a cop car driving slow intentionally so no one will pass it. And it's like a pace car at the Indy 500. You know, all these machines ready to take off, and this fucking cop car going 30 miles an hour. So everyone else has got to do 30, just waiting for him to veer off. As soon as he takes that exit, we're like, finally, and we just fucking floats up. Pieces of shit. Anyway.
Wait, where was this at? What are you talking about?
This was today, driving to the studio here in Eagle Rock. Everyone's like, what the fuck? Why is it taking so long? So a car it was like Indian running, you know, the guy in the back goes to the front, you know, like that. Then he goes,
You're drafting?
Well, they're like, why is everyone so slow? Then they realize there's a cop up there. Oh, okay, all right. Then they drift on back. All right, just wanted to say hi to everyone up here. I'll go back to the line. Hello, officer. Yeah, we're all just doing a casual 30 here.
Folks, CJ Sullivan.
But yes, we're also talking NFL playoffs.
Yeah, NFL playoffs, some police chase.
We talk everything over there.
We live in the American capital for police chases.
Right.
Los Angeles.
A lot of things came up today. A lot of speaking of January 6th. You see how the conversations wander on this show. You imagine it's just me in the box with no one to alter me straight and like right in the ship. You know, I just go.
Yeah. Anyway. So folks, go if you want more about January 6th besides my Idaho State rivalry game. Get on over there. Check out the Bottom Line Bombs. They're covering the NFL playoffs. Is Jim Harbaugh leaving for the NFL, CJ?
Oh yeah, of course he is. Absolutely, 100% he's leaving for the NFL.
Okay, they got to give him a job first, but I think it's going to happen too. Give CJ a follow on Twitter at CJ Sullivan _. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. We'll be back tonight talking college hoops. We might even have a college baseball episode going either today or tomorrow. As that season goes into full swing in February. But yes, myself, Moneyline Mac, Noah Beanick, back tonight talking college hoops. Until next time, folks, this is the college basketball experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we are out of here.
Mailbox 1. You have 7 missing. 1.
I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart my body and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun my body and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo my body and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. We're the obsession to be a part of that, started that. Mind over matter don't matter in the market. I've seen much smarter cats have heart attacks. Logic is leaders need lambs to be lethargic. Match wits with the half-wit phantom. I don't need jumper cables or mic cords to analyze an analytical anthem. Between my two ears, an engine pumping the life force. Force field for your grip on the grievance. Still gonna feel unchallenged and bored stiff. So arrange the pieces to prepare cohesive. All the hard work will go largely ignored if your hands are covered with post-its and paper cuts. You need to have your voice in the vice grip. The one who made it famous ain't the one who made it up. You don't get overtime just for working the night shift.
I'm taking a pinch right now. It's like
I'm not saying I'm impossible to